interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. Up the middle they go. Atkinson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Atkinson. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw here, Herbert. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there. Didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, Dawson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Vikings in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Off the bootleg, Dawson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Dawson. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Dawson. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. Under pressure, they got him again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week?
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson with career touchdown number 70. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Herbert now. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now a handoff up the middle. Atkinson, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On second down now, Atkinson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. Henry up the middle. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Inside handoff, Henry. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run